how does the whole process eventually happen with you debuting at the Royal Rumble, and how does it happen, but how does it feel? Like, how do you feel going into that night, and when you hear that audience and the reaction? Is it like a sense of gratification and like, okay, see, I told you, I knew I could do it, I knew I could be here?
Well, I do. Like, people don't realize how quick the turnaround was. I wrestled Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom, and then I had another show at Corgan Hall on the 5th of January.
And is that where Omega turned on you?
Well, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But after that match, we flew home on the 6th. I didn't go home. I went to Pittsburgh and started my testing for the WWE, my physical and whatnot. And then finally got home, I guess that would be on the 7th, or maybe it was the 8th. I don't remember. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, like, that's how quick it was. And then I think I may have done one independent show, and then it was the Royal Rumble. And then they flew me into Tampa rather than Orlando to keep me hidden. And it was a crazy feeling knowing I was about to debut, not only in the WWE, but at the Royal Rumble. So, yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, God, and I know people going, what? Like, I didn't know if anybody would know who I was. I'd been gone for 2 years,
right? Almost,
anyway, and now I was debuting in Orlando, which benefited me in WWE. And I remember talking to Triple H, and I go, man, yep, I just kind of texted. I think I said something like, yep, I'll come out number 2, no problem. Just a joke on there, but a little bit of like, man, I just want to get out there early, so it's a surprise.
Yeah.
And the way that they did it with coming out number 3, it couldn't have been any better.
Yeah.
It really couldn't have. And the reaction was unbelievable. I did not expect that. It was just, it's one of those things in WWE history that will be forever there, because it was that kind of reaction that I didn't expect. I don't think anybody expected that. I definitely don't think Vince expected that, because I've heard stories that he's like, nobody's going to know who this guy is. Well, and you don't want him out number 3. So it definitely worked out in my benefit.
Well, you talk about a bubble, and if anybody is in a bubble just because of the sheer, he heads it all. So outside of WWE, he's probably not going to know what's going on. So he doesn't know your resume and all of those things. And he's not going to be able to sit down and watch your New Japan stuff and really know what he's getting truly until you get in there and start, showing him, basically. But if I remember correctly, didn't Cena also put out a tweet or something and kind of like tease that you might be there? And am I mistaken in remembering that?
No, he put out it was like an Instagram of a picture of me probably 10 years younger. And it was just hot. Like, that was the picture that he put out.
Bowl cut.
And I was like, I don't even look like this anymore. And so I remember talking to a friend and being like, you know what? I'm going to Instagram a picture of him back when he was the prototype. And just because, and yeah, it was really odd and everything that went down, but it was pretty amazing when it finally was over. And it was one of the things, and I know you guys have been there before, it's going to be such a big deal for you that you can't wait till it's over.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was. Like, finally, I can just take a breath and just take it all in. What just happened? I'm actually part of the WWE now. I'm on their roster. I'm a WWE superstar now. That was cool, man, for me to say that.
Well, and it was interesting to watch the evolution of once you got there, because like I said, I don't think anyone really fully grasped what you brought to the table. So you and Jericho, team and have great matches with New Day and things like that. Then you guys go into your program, but essentially, you're a baby face, right? And I don't think they fully grasped, until you started having your series with Cena. Actually, you know what? I think it was the matches with Reigns, and they went, okay.
Well, here's the thing too, right?
We got something here.
I think off the bat too, in my opinion, that the reaction you got at Rumble when you debuted obviously helped your case as far as maybe moving you along quicker than maybe they thought they would have had to. You know what I mean?
They
might have to build you up a little more.
That.
What's that?
I think I don't know that was. I think Vince Play thought it was a fluke.
It was a one-off.
It was one of those things. It was a one-off. Yeah. And I think when there was I had a match, and it was just a typical babyface match, and Vince going, I got tons of guys that can have that match. He goes, where's this freaking pit bull? This attack dog. I'm like, oh, you want that guy? I can be that guy. Like that's honestly, I did wrestling in high school and whatnot, and that's the type of wrestler I was. Like I got after it. I was very aggressive, and that's how I wrestled. And it's like when he said that, it was like a relief because like, oh yeah, I can be that guy. And so the next thing was Miz TV, and I just beat up Miz, and I think
knocked
Vince
his
was
tooth
like,
out, right?
That's the guy. That's the guy I want.
Well, but you know what's great about that?
Because I was beating up on Miz, or it was because that's the guy he wanted to see. So.
But what's great about that is that he gave you that note, because a lot of times you won't get that note from Vince unless he cares or sees something. And I always tell, like, guys will come and ask for advice, and I'm like, well, you got to get a dialogue with Vince. You have to, because otherwise you got a middleman, and who knows what's being filtered in, being filtered out. But if you talk to Vince yourself, oh man,
there's a situation.
We're used to it. Everything good?
But I thought she was coming in here, and then she's probably going to try to put makeup on me, and I made her brother take her out of here, and that's what happened.
But to get that note from Vince is big, and I when guys ask me what to do is go talk to Vince, go knock on his door, go talk to him, because if you talk to him, then you're getting what he sees, and the fact that he gave you that note, and that's all you need really if you're confident in yourself and your ability, is just that one little note, that one direction. It's like, okay, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah. It made the biggest difference. And I've learned that with, if he wants to talk to you, he wants to have a relationship with you, and it's up to you to do that. I mean, the guy's super busy, so I try not to bother him unless I have something I think that is important. But it's nice to know that there's one guy that I can go and talk to, and he'll tell me yes or no. And that's it. There's not a group of people I have to go through or get one answer from this guy, because that's the way it was the last place I worked, where you didn't know he was giving you the right answer. But here, you go to Vince and you get a yes or a no, and that's it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And it's so important. Like you said, he wants that. He really does. I think he looks for the folks that have the guts to go in and say, okay, what do you want? What do you see? Or if you have ideas, say, I have this idea. And that to me is one of the most important elements of succeeding there, is really getting that dialogue open with that guy, because that way he's going to know what type of person, what type of employee he's investing in. Because otherwise, how much are you going to invest in someone that you don't know if they got the guts to even just go talk to their boss?
Well, then also, if you have that dialogue with them and you have that conversation, and you come to an understanding, and then you go out there and deliver, you're earning trust as well, right? And once he knows he can put you out there in any situation and you're going to come through for him, there's a level of trust, and that makes things easier as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the guy I want working for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And but at the same time, I know his time's valuable, so I'm not going to go in there with something silly,
Right.
But then again, it's not a bad idea. Well, hey, just wanted to say hello.
Sure.
That's pretty much it. But I enjoy that time, because you don't realize how brilliant this guy is. Just like, he's been doing this for a long time, and to talk to him and get the insight and see how he feels about certain things, and it's really cool to get to know him and know how smart he is when it comes to this business. It's just unbelievable.
And he has an outlook that you might not think of. He looks at it from a different angle where you go, oh, okay. He's having to look at a much bigger picture. So then you start to understand. And at first, there were times where I was like, I don't really get that. and then you start to see the bigger picture and all of the different things that go into WWE and the massive, machine that it is. And it's like, oh, okay, he's having to take that into account and that into account and that foreign market into account. And, the action figures over here and the garbage cans and bedspreads over here. Like, there's a lot of different things that go into decision making there, and it all basically boils down to him.